Sometimes the devil tries to turn me around. Keep pressing on, 'cause my soul is heavy now. Cause my soul is heaven now.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's your boy Rundown. If you're depressed watching your favorite sports team on the football field, but you just can't stop buying their gear, then congratulations. You might be a Raiders fan. But listen, man, don't trip. I got the perfect thing for you, man. Here at the Rundown, we have partnered with Fanatics to bring the nation some of the freshest Raider gear that you can get your hands on. I'm talking jerseys, I'm talking hats, and you know it's starting to get chilly out here, so it's best to grab you some drip for the frosty season while you're at it as well. So tap the link in the description down below, get you some fresh gear, man. Support the channel at the same time. It's a dub for you, dub for me, even though we're not getting that many dubs on the field at the moment, man. So remember, man, tap the link down below in the description to get you some fresh Raiders gear from Fanatics. Now let's get back to the show. Man, what's happening? What's happening? What is going on? What is the deal, man? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. It's been a little minute since we did a solo live. I will say that. But today, as you already know, man, we are going to be previewing a little bit of the Cowboys versus Raiders tonight. It's going to be a very interesting one. Hearing from some people there that's at the game, that's at the venue at locale. It's looking very ugly as far as the opposing fans coming into the stadium. So right now we got to deal with that, right? A lot of storylines coming into tonight as well. Rookies who can be playing, young dudes who can be getting some first time action, right? Against some real tough competition. Real strong sides of the ball going against what you would say, quote unquote, is a strength for the Raiders. A lot to talk about, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. So before we do, for your regularly scheduled programming, y'all know what it is, man. Make sure you guys are tapping on the like button, on that subscribe button. Help your boy out. We are on our way to 3K, man. We are very close. We're very close. We continue to do our thing, man. Continue to support the channel, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that continues to tap in every time we do hit that live button. Today will not be the only live as well. So not only if you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, you get to go and get notified every time your boy goes live, not only with me, but just with the homies too, man. We got something at 4:00 as well, man. We're going to be doing a little post-game action like we did last time on Thursday for the game. So make sure you guys tap in with that. But without further ado, man, like I said, we got a lot to discuss. We have a lot to talk about today. So we might as well get into it. Before we do that, man, you know what it is. We got to do the very most important segment of the show, man, which is man, gotta tap in with the roll call, man. My guy Dominique is in the building, man. What's going on, Dominique? And either way, right? Like I always say, I always got a Laker crowd, but I don't give a damn if I got 1 comment, 10 comments, 100 comments, man. I'm gonna make sure that I show the comments. So appreciate my dog for tapping in, man. Artie Art in the building, man. What's going on with you, big dog? Appreciate you for tapping in as well, man. Timberland, Washington. First time I seen you up in the building, man. So appreciate you for tapping in with the show as well, man. Like I say, the show don't move without y'all, but appreciate everybody that does tap in, man. You know, sometimes I like to go on early, man. You know, that's that West Coast in me. Some of y'all are some East Coasters, right? Y'all already got y'all day started. Y'all going. The West Coast in me, right? We got to do it in the morning. We got to get it right. So I appreciate everybody that is tapping in on this early one. So let's go ahead, man. Let's get into it. We got a lot to discuss. I'm not even going to sugarcoat nothing else. We're not even going to talk about, you know, no bullshit or anything like that. Game tonight, right? Game tonight. This is a game that I've had circled for a while. I will say that. I've had this game circled because this is a game I've been worried about for a while. They can put up points, right? This team, you know, a lot of us as Raider fans hate the Cowboys for some unknown reason. To me, I don't know why. I don't know why us as Raider fans maybe hate the Cowboys. Maybe it's something from the olden days, right? When both of the teams were good. I know for damn sure it ain't nothing for recent for us. You know, we're complete and utter dog water. But when it comes to them, you know, they've had recent success, and maybe because, you know, the years previous past, you know, there's something there. But I don't understand it now. You know, some of y'all have some hate for them. I get it. But not only is that added on, bro, but this team, I'm not going to say like they're a great team because I don't really think they're a great team, but they're a good enough team to come up in here and whoop our ass. I will say that. Right. I'm not, I would love for the content that I can come out here and make and be like, oh man, you know, if the Raiders do X, Y, and Z, you know, we're gonna win that game, or it's a good chance we can win the game. But it's like there's so many factors, right? So many factors. If we turn the ball over at all today, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. This offense that's coming in here is too good for our defense to be turning the ball over and putting them in short fields, right? Now, I like coming out here on the solo tip sometimes because I can get my thoughts out, and I shit you not. Come back and watch this live after the game. Come back and watch this live after the game. We're going to discuss some things that I probably and for shit sure certain is going to happen tonight, right? For shit sure. If we turn the ball over, they're whooping our ass. Any capacity. We can't have any turnovers. They're going to whoop our ass if we do. Short fields, they're going to whoop our ass. It's simple and plain, bro. We do not have the defensive firepower to mess with an offense like this. We don't. No. Now, a lot of you can point to the Cardinals, right? The Cardinals game last week for the Cowboys, right? Like they played like shit. They did. They played terribly. But the thing about that was that to me was more the Cowboys being the Cowboys. That, you know what I mean? Sometimes they play down to their competition. That's just what they do sometimes. And that's what they did last week, is what it looked like. Because now, when you watch the Cardinals after that game, the Cardinals are dog water themselves, right? So we understand that fact. So again, like we pointed out at the beginning, this team ain't good. They play down in their competition, but they're mediocre, right? They're a mediocre team, but they're good enough to come in here and whoop our ass, right? So what we're going to have to do, we're going to go through some rankings, right? We're going to go. Appreciate that, Timberland. I really do appreciate that, 100%. Rose Town in the building, man. Appreciate my dog for tapping in, man. L11, what's going on with you? What's going on, family? 805, yes, sir. Okay, he about to link up with Leo at Allegiant. Yeah, hey, if y'all go live, let me know. I got to tap in with that, man. If y'all go live, definitely let me know. Would definitely love to tap in with y'all, but hope y'all have some fun, man. Be safe out there. I know you're not going to the game. I know how you get down. You're just going for the festivities. I understand. Herman, what's going on with you, big dog? Appreciate you for tapping in. So what we're gonna do right now, because I don't think we're not gonna get no inactives or anything like that till later on. So what we'll do, we'll go through some rankings real quick, right? If y'all heard me just now, great. If y'all didn't, and I just timed out, apologies. It looked like I just cut out and froze out on my end, but we keep it pushing as we do. So what we'll do, let's get into their offensive rankings, because we all know that's their strength. That's the strength, right? We're not going to sit here and go through all that defensive shit. I mean, we will, but that's how we can attack. But how our defense plays today is imperative. If defense looks like, for example, if they look like how they did against the Chiefs, 40 ball. It's over with, right? 40 ball, damn near 50 ball getting hung tonight. Now, if we pull out that performance that we just did last week against the Broncos, some other performances we've had this year, you know what I mean? We've had some other ones where we look pretty good on defense and we've been pretty stout. If we do that, we have a chance. There's a chance, right? There's a chance, because the Cowboys, it's a coin flip, depending on however they play, right? It's a coin flip. So going to their rankings, though, with their strength, why it's imperative for our defense to play well. You look, right? Look at the Cowboys ranking here in the offense in the league total, right? 4th overall, 378 yards per game, right? Per game. Offensive touchdowns, 30 offensive touchdowns. Now, for reference, all right, people, my beautiful Raider people, for reference, they're sitting at 4th. Yeah, it's a lot of scrolling I got to do to get right to where we are. 30th in the league in offensive scoring and production. You see that? Now, 272 yards per game, and we half their touchdown, right? We only got 15. They double our shit with 30. Okay, so already you see the disparity and the discrepancy, right? You see it. Okay, we're not that high-flying, powered of an offense, which means if this part of the team already fucks up, which they've been doing for the greater part of the year, right? If the offensive side of the team fucks up, then now we give the offense to their strength, or we give the ball to their strength, which is sitting at 378 yards per game. Right now, we're just talking about numbers. We're just saying numbers. We're not even talking about personnel yet. All right, we're not even saying shit about personnel yet. So that comes a little later on in the show. As of right now, we're just talking about their numbers and where they rank. Now, let's go to the passing offense, right? Let's see where we rank in the passing offense. Before we do that, man, let me tap in with more to chat real quick. See what y'all talking about. 805, tailgate, then to the bar to watch the game. I ain't spending no damn money on this team, as you should not. A waste. Dixon in the building, man. What's going on, big dog? Can we score more than 12 points? You know, and still manage to, and we'll still only manage to score 10 points. And you know the crazy thing, bro, with this defense that we'll talk about for them, you would think like, man, you know, the Raiders might have a chance. to put up some points because this defense is trash, right? Because they are. The Dallas defense isn't anything special, but it is the Raiders. So I would expect nothing less for us to struggle on offense tonight. But hoping we don't. Let's look at their passing offense and where they rank. This is the Cowboys. When you look at the Cowboys, right? Ooh, a lot of scrolling we got to do. Hold on. I might have passed them. I'm tripping. I might have passed. Oh, I am tripping. Sitting at third in the league in passing offense. So sitting at 257 yards per game, 18 touchdowns. So 18 of the 30 total touchdowns they have on offense comes via the pass. Now, I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, though, right? It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody because that's when we start talking about personnel, right? This is when we can start talking about personnel. And I'm going to leave this here because now we can get into the weeds of it. Now, who's guarding who is the question mark that I have, right? Who's guarding who? Who's playing? Now, we talked about young guys playing, right? And we talked about young guys getting their snaps. Now, tonight is a true testament to how confident they might be in our guy, Darian Porter. It's a true testament because tonight, it's a fucking test tonight, right? It's a test tonight. I would imagine that Eric Stokes has the task of CeeDee Lamb. I would imagine that would be where it would go. I mean, Stokes doesn't travel, but primarily, like, if they're lining up on that side, that's primarily where I would see it go. Now, neither of our corners travel, so it might be easy enough for Dallas to just scheme it up to wherever they need to go, right? Which is what most teams have done. So if that's the case, and they know, and as we know as a fan base, Eric Stokes is our strongest corner right now. This question is imperative. Who plays tonight? And y'all give it to me in the chat, right? Give it to me in the chat. Let me know what's your prediction. Who do you feel gets the starting nod tonight? Is it going to be Darian Porter or Blue Kelly? Who do you want to see get the starting nod tonight as far as those two? I know my answer is clear, bro. My answer is clear. It needs to be Porter. Without a doubt, it needs to be Porter. I've seen things from Porter's film from the games he's played that makes me think we might have a nice little starter there, man. We might have a nice little starter there. The problem that I start getting is that, like, I get annoyed when we have those flashes, those traits from these young guys, and then they immediately get taken out by the coaching staff, right? The coaching staff takes them out, and now we're watching a struggling veteran perform now. It's like, bro, it makes no sense. We're taking snaps, invaluable snaps, away from these younger players just to watch veterans make mistakes. It makes zero sense. So tonight, I personally want to watch Darian Porter against a George Pickens, right? Against that. Why? Now, two things. One, Darian Porter's length against George Pickens serves him pretty well, right? His length would serve him pretty well against a receiver like George Pickens. And I think, he has the speed to match up with a guy like Pickens as well. So I like that. Second reason, I say it all the time, for all the young guys, and this same philosophy we will talk about when we go to the offensive side, but all the young guys, sink or swim, dog. Take them in the deep water and we sink or swim and we see what we have, right? Now, the game that Porter played, I believe it might have been against the Jaguars. It was against the Jaguars. They took him in that deep water. You could tell in the first half, bro, they were testing him. They continuously threw to his side, screens over here, quick curls over here, quick outs over here. They're going to test him, his tackling. They're going to test his covers. They're going to test how locked in he is. They'll do that tonight, especially with that was just against Jacksonville. That's just Jacksonville. Now, against a veteran quarterback and veteran wide receivers such as this, they're going to do that to the 5 degree, 10th degree, right? So we have to be prepared for that. And what better way to see if we have something to mold than to put his ass out there against this? I don't want to see him out there against fluff competition. Fuck does it matter if I see him against fucking Rashee Rice? Like, who cares, right? Next week against goddamn, what's buddy that they got from the goddamn Jets? I forget his name, bro. They got somebody from the Jets, Jerry Jeudy and all them. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see this. Prime time television, prime time television, world is on you, eyes, pressure is on you. How will you perform? Because at this point, bro, I'm tired of hiding people. You know what I mean? We can't, it's no more. No more. We trying to be some of these teams that we see on prime time that get these slots, you know what I mean? Or that these good teams, they make plays. They make plays. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh, Lord. Thought I heard something outside. Thought I had to go into dad mode real quick. But I will say, right, that if he does struggle tonight, so be it. You know what I mean? So be it. We live and die with it. We live and die with it. He's a rookie, bro. Well, right now, we understand that fact. I'm not going to be one of those people that come out here and be like, oh, he sucks. He's terrible. Whatever the case. No, bro, he's barely played. Right? He's barely played. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be this. And I've seen some things that I believe we could mold. Right? So, I don't know. I would rather him play and get out there. Definitely pause. But my boy, old school, he says, haven't looked it up yet, but was wondering how many points is the line giving us. Oh, definitely going to have to see that. Definitely going to have to see that. I will definitely tap in. My boy L11 says Caillou's probably going to start, but we need DP to start. I think he's ready for this matchup. 100%. 100%. I think he's ready, bro. My guy Dre, man, what's going on, bro? I think Porter's ready. Porter's ready for this matchup, man. I think he's played pretty well with the snaps he's been given. Now hold on. Let me look at this. Let's look up the money line, man. What's the money line for tonight? Hold up. Raiders. They are Cowboys are the 3.5 point favorite. So the Cowboys are a 3.5, which is, you know, not mad at that. Nobody can be mad at that. If you're trying to make some money tonight, I'm probably putting some on that. I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably put a little something on that. That probably get you some bread. But 3.5 point favorite away, right? Which tells you a lot. That shit tells you a lot about where the Raiders are at. But either way, continuing on to some of the rankings and getting into some of the weeds of it, we understand that the Dallas pass game offense is the strength. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, even Lil Ferguson in there, tight end. And then you look around to you look around to Dak Prescott and what he does, bro. Dak Prescott is a veteran quarterback. He'll pick you apart if you let him. If you let him, he's gonna pick you apart. So we can't allow this to happen. There has to be some type of pressure tonight. Now, when I say that with the thought of knowing that we ain't got no damn body to provide that. So it's just like talking to a brick wall at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I know we got Max, and that's pretty much it. But other than that, it's like, you know, I was getting attacked in my comment section when it came to one of the shorts that I released about Malcolm Kuntz. Yet, let's look this up before I continue, right? I'm not gonna say a word. I'm not gonna say a word until let me see. Okay, so I continuously got killed in my comment section on one of my shorts that I released about Malcolm Kuntz, saying that right now he's not playing well. I understand about the knee injury. I get that. I understand, and that is, you know, just a bad luck of the draw. But you gonna tell me this shit is acceptable? You smell me? Like let's keep it a bean. You know what I mean? I don't ever sit here sugarcoat nothing. I don't sit here talk about no rumors. I don't know innuendo, no speculation, right? When you tune into a rundown show, only thing I'm ever talking about is straight cold hard facts. We might joke around. We might do our things, right? But when you tune into the rundown, you know exactly what you're getting, bro. We talking about what's going on the field. I don't give a damn about none of that off the field shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to leave that to you, and we ain't going to talk about you off the field. We only talk about what we do here. So when we talk about these cold, hard facts, what argument is there to be had when I see this shit right here to my right? What is this? What game are we in? What week is this? Is this not week 11? Am I tripping? right? This week 11, and we sitting here with 7 tackles and 1 sack. And that's acceptable, right? That's acceptable. I understand about the knee injury. I get that. We all understood that. So you can go back to some months before, right? Guess who was saying, I don't know about Kuntz before, right? But either way, a 1-year deal, fine. But we have to understand what the organization has said to us. The organization gave this man a 1-year deal. It's not that they gave him a 2-year deal. If they gave him like a 2-year, 3-year deal, you would sit here and say you understand about the knee, and it's like the production you see here is like, all right, but we got next year. You know what I mean? He'll come back. He'll bounce back. He's 1 year removed. We're ready. Obviously, the organization said, we're going to invest in you, but you got to make some plays this year for us to invest long term. Correct? That's where we are, right? You feel what I'm saying? And right now, the way it sits, he won't be returning this next year. With these stats, this shit ain't good enough. I don't care how you slice it. You slice whatever to me, right? You're starting, ain't you? You see, he's starting. And the next thing that I don't understand is like, we seeing players like Charles Snowden and fucking Tyree Wilson being subbed in for him. That's where I get it. It's like, bro, it's not disrespect when I say these things. Those players that I just named are lesser players to me than Malcolm Kuntz is. Yet I'm seeing him being rotated in with these players to create production he's not getting. So we understand that, right? Like, I'm not going to say, again, I'm not going to sit out here and just be like, oh, man, run down, he talks shit, and that's all he does. No, bro. No. When the show is on, when we hit this live button up in this motherfucker, we talk cold, hard facts. Where are the arguments for this? Where? You know what I'm saying? The knee, that's the only thing you can tell me. And again, it's understood. But when you look at the money, because we're not just going to act like just straight fans here, we gotta understand what's going on. When you look at the money and the investments that are made, it was not a large investment that was made in Malcolm Kuntz. Some of that was saying, hey, bro, I understand it's a knee injury, but you still got to produce. There's a reason why we struggle certain times. There's a reason why we can't provide the pressure that we need to, because it was relied upon this man to provide that pressure. And now we're not getting it, right? I mean, any of y'all that thought Tyree Wilson was getting 10 sacks, shame on you. Shame on you. Because you knew damn well he wasn't getting no fucking 10 sacks. Let's be real, bro. Be real. He wasn't doing that. No way, no world, no how. This year was Tyree Wilson sniffing close to fucking 5. He might have 4 right now, maybe. But 10? No, he's not doing that. He's not doing it. That's damn near Pro Bowl numbers, right? We're talking Pro Bowl numbers. So shame on you, right? Now, but then you look around. The rest of the D-line. Nobody's really stepped up. Nobody's really performed, right? Like, I mean, Crosby's the only one that you can look at that's providing some type of juice. That's the juice. We ain't got no other pass rush juice, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? You look around, so it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't like talking about players in these negative lights. You know what I mean? I really don't. I want to come out here with my content and be positive and talk about how good these players are, how amazing our players are. Fuck other teams' players, right? Like, pause. But, that's what I want. That's what I want to come out here and say. But guess what, bro? Guess what? This channel year 3 of the channel? Year 3. In the past 3 years, ask yourselves, how much positivity has there been within this team in the last 3 years? How much? And I'll wait, right? We might not even be able to count that shit off one hand. It might just use. That's it. In the last 3 years? And I'm supposed to come out here, right, with this channel that I'm trying to grow and cultivate and just lie my ass off and saying everybody's playing up to Daisy and go Raiders, right? That's what I'm supposed to do? My black ass, I'll be doing that. No, we coming out here telling the truth. It's what it is, bro. It's what it is. Narratives will change, right? Narratives will change once play is better and once we do better things. But as of right now, bro, we got to tell it how it is. Now, next thing we got to tell how it is, right? If we can't provide pressure tonight If we cannot provide pressure tonight, yeah, it's a long one. It's going to be a long one. If they're able to run the ball tonight, if they're even able to run the football tonight, it's going to be a fucking long one. We cannot, we really have to play very, very sound defense tonight. Adam Butler has to show up, which shout out to my guy 805, but I've been saying it, bro. He ain't been performing that great, right? He ain't been performing that great. Now, again, the excuse can come with Adam Butler. You know, he doesn't have Christian Wilkins. He doesn't have Christian Wilkins to perform and do these things. And usually he's used to being the 1B, right? Or that other side. But again, flip side of it, that should preface to you the talent level that we're speaking of and what we need, right? That should preface to you what fucking talent we need, what we have let go, and what we do not have. This is what, like, bro, again, I say it all the time. If you read comics and you're a comic junkie, DC, Batman junkie, Nightwing took over for Batman for a while, but the villains knew some shit ain't right. Yeah, that's him. He in the role, but some shit ain't there. You know what I mean? It ain't all the way there. We all know what it is, bro. He's just not suited for that Christian Wilkins, be that type of guy role. He's better in the assist type of role that he's been. But we don't have the guy on the interior D-line to cause that pressure. Malcolm Kuntz isn't playing the greatest. Tyree Wilson is Tyree Wilson. And there we go. That's it. That's all we have. So tonight is going to have to come with a combination of blitzing. I'm looking at a certain player tonight, bro. Oh, is that real? Hold up. Oh, you know why, bro? You know why? I'm gonna be real. You on the vertical. You got to go. I'm still trying to look. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm still trying to figure out this vertical shit with StreamYard. All right. This is the first time I'm using it. We testing it out. Switch over to the actual stream that's going on over here. You feel what I'm saying? The horizontal stream. You'll be straight. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out the vertical. So if you're on the vertical, apologies, because that shit does look rough right now. I will say that. This shit does look rough. But I'll figure it out soon. I will figure it out soon. He's playing okay. Yeah, he's playing okay. But again, you can't tell me that you think Charles Snowden is a better player than Malcolm Kuntz. And Charles Snowden's okay is right now still, it could be better. I still want better. You know what I'm saying? He's good depth. But let's be real with ourselves. How much pressure are we getting? I'm not just fine with just like mediocre shit no more. Like, I'm just not going to do it. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's fine. That's all it is. But we need more than just like, okay, especially tonight. You know what I mean? Especially tonight. Because if we're not providing pressure, bro, it's going to be a long one. Now, last week, we have to repeat last week, bro. We have to repeat last week. He has. But the thing is, bro, this is where I'm at. I think personally he's played okay. I don't think he's played like crazy. Because we still have certain lapses in pass rush and certain lapses in fucking in run defense too, bro. I don't think, well, run defense, we're a little stronger. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, tonight, if they're running the ball, we're fucked off. But pass defense, there's still some lapses where we're not getting to the fucking quarterback, bro. We just cannot get to the quarterback. There's times where we scheme it up and we do our little stunts and twists and schemes and shit like that, and we end up getting there. But it's not consistent enough. There's still only one guy on the line that's consistently getting to the quarterback, and that's Max. Other than that, bro, like, there's still a lot of time. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of time that these quarterbacks do have, in my opinion. Now, you know, I could be wrong. It is what it is. I'm not going to say it's the end all be all. I could be wrong, but I'll watch him tonight. You know, for me personally, I still think there's a lot of time and lapses in our pass rush that we do have, that we definitely need to get stronger. Now going into it, you know, we're continuing. What were we talking about? They're passing offense, which is the strongest of the bunch. Sitting ours, bro. Ours is 27th in the goddamn league. We only have 185 yards per game through the air, which is like complete dog water. But Rushing offense, right? Rushing offense. They're oh shit, hold on. Better than I thought. They are 13th in the league in rushing offense, sitting at 120 yards per game. 10 touchdowns on the day or on the year with their rushing offense. So pretty better than what I thought it was, right? Better than what I thought it was. Now, some of that might be, they open up a lot of it with their pass game so that, when they start running the ball, they have the room to do that. Which is why, bro, if we got to stop one or the other, right? We got to stop one or the other. We understand what they're going to do passing the ball. They cannot run the ball. They just cannot run the ball tonight. That's going to be simple and plain, right? Because if we're stopping that, right, and they're not, and they say they're averaging maybe 2-3 yards per carry, say that's their thing, right? And they really just got to drop back 24/7 to get the yardage. We're in a good spot because now we can send our blitzes. We can do these things, and that's really how we're going to have to create this pressure, right? We're going to have to send our blitzes. We're going to have to send more than just the front four and all that. So we do that. We're going to be in pretty good shape. We're going to be in pretty good shape because Dak is prone. The more he drops back, the more there's pressure in his face, the more Dak feels like he has to be the hero, right? And play that hero ball. He'll fuck around and make the mistake, right? He'll make the mistake. He'll throw the pick. You know what I mean? He might fumble, but he'll throw the pick. He'll throw you a tater. So we have to provide that pressure, bro. We have to provide that pressure. And that's going to have to come through the blitz, but that comes with us making them one-dimensional, right? We make them one-dimensional, the game is in our favor, right? The game is in our favor. So sitting 13th, crazy. Now, just for reference, the Raiders with their newly acquired running back, 6th overall. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but I'm just saying this is the plan that we thought we would implement, being a running team, because we drafted a running back 6 overall. We're sitting at 87 yards per game. 4 touchdowns on the ground. 29th in the league in running the football. 29th. When you just spent premium capital to try and fix that very thing. I don't know how to point out more Raider shit than that. More Raider shit than that, bro. You spent premium capital to try and fix that very problem, and you're still sitting 29th in the goddamn league in running the football. Shame. Now again, that is not all on Ashton Jeanty. It's not. We understand that. We watch the games. That offensive line can sometimes be horrid in run blocking. Right? In run blocking, they can be horrid. Just fucking terrible. Now in the pass blocking, that's a different story. We got to know how to separate the two. But when it comes to the run blocking, we're terrible. Just complete and utter garbage. And something scares me tonight as well, because we lose another guy to injury. And this is where it's at, bro. Tonight, no JPJ. First game that we're going to be without JPJ. And that's pretty much for the remainder of the season. We're going to lose some physicality tonight, man. We're going to lose some physicality tonight. He's the enforcer on the offensive line. You know what I mean? When it comes to bouncing people out that club, setting the attitude, you know what I mean? Setting the real vibes for the offensive line. You would love that Colton, even when Colton Miller is out there, he's, what you would say, the veteran, the mainstay. But when it comes to setting the tone and the attitude, that's JPJ, right? And we lose that tonight. We're going to lose that. And I believe it's going to show. It's going to show. Because they have 2 guys on that defensive line that I feel they can take advantage of what we have and what we are, right? You look around, boom, first guy, Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is a very, very good run defensive tackle. I think he's a very good run-stopping defensive tackle. I'm not going to say he's the best in the league, but as far as his superpower, what he does, that's what he does. Eats up space, eats up blocks, right? Very big human being. And with what we struggle with our guards, primarily Parham, if he does play, we've seen Meredith struggle some as well. Kappa, when he gets in there, power is something that really, really gives us trouble, right? Power is something that gives us trouble, and Kenny Clark has it in spades, man. Again, I think that's his main superpower, is stopping the run. He can provide a little pass rush, but his main thing is eating that space, eating up them blocks, right? And I would say, okay, we can kind of deal with that if it's just him, but it's not just him anymore. You know what I mean? It's not just him anymore. Now they have the complement to the piece, right? Because you have Kenny Clark, who can eat up the space, and now you bring in Quentin Williams, who is that pass rushing demon, right? He is that pass rushing force and entity from the interior. So they have the 1-2 punch, right? Exactly what we had last year with the couple games with Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, right? But Kenny Clark is a better Adam Butler, right? Kenny Clark is a better Adam Butler. And then you look around with Quentin Williams, who is arguably top 3 at his position. As far as a defensive tackle. He does everything. Stopping the run, right? But rushing the passer is where he makes that money. That's where he separates himself, right? And tonight, if we don't have no JPJ for this physicality that we going to see, they're going to get busy. Them two motherfuckers right there will wreck the game by themselves. They will destroy our game plan if we don't have a plan for those two, right? So Kenny Clark by himself a couple weeks ago, I would have told you, like, all right, we can kind of deal with that. You can double him up, even with JPJ being out, double him up, move him out the way, make other people make plays. Thing is, though, right, Quentin Williams can make fucking plays. So tonight, it's like you got to kind of pick your poison, and we got to run with some physicality tonight because they will wreck our game plan. I guarantee that. Guarantee it. 100% rhythm runner. And tonight, against these dudes, they're going to disrupt that rhythm. So it's on two things when it comes to the running game tonight, bro. When I'm looking, it's like, one, like I just said, we got to play with some physicality in the offensive line. But two, with Chip, we can't get away from it either. Because there's going to be some times tonight we're going to have to chop wood, right? Meaning, right, when you chop a tree down, the tree don't fall in just 1 or 2 chops. You feel what I'm saying? You got to continuously chop away. You got to continuously chip away until that very swing, that motherfucker breaks, right? That's what the running game is. That's what our running back is. We got to chop wood, bro. Tonight, we're going to have to continuously go at it. Yeah, even if because there's going to be some times, especially with JPJ being out, this was happening with him in. There's going to be some times they're going to stop us for like a negative yard or two, bro. Like, they're going to get us in the backfield a couple times. It's going to happen tonight. But we cannot let it discourage us and take us straight off track from the run game. Now, the problem with that is, when I say these things, this is why I say our offense is so hard to pinpoint whose fucking fault it is, really. But when I say that, the problem is we're not the type of offense that if we do lose like 3 yards on first down, it's very tough for us on 2nd and 13 to do anything else after that, right? Like, we've seen it multiple times in the season. When we're behind the sticks, bro, drive's pretty much kaputs, right? The drive is kaputs. When we're talking about being behind the sticks with this team, right? 2nd and 13, death sentence. 3rd and 8, death sentence. We're not converting those at a high clip. So, the problem is we're going to have to stick with the run. So, like, the thing is tonight, even if you do go 2nd and 12, fuck it, run it again. You know what I mean? 2nd and 12, make it fucking 2nd and 7 or 3rd and 7, right? Maybe, hopefully, we can get 6 yards out the next one. 3rd and 6, hopefully. We're gonna have to be that type of offense, now because those two players are the ones that scare me, dog. They're the ones that really fucking scare me tonight, and we're gonna talk about it because if we just talked about Darian Porter, Caillou Blue Kelly, right? Who's gonna be the guy to start? And a lot of us, kind of are already like, man, probably gonna be Blue Kelly, knowing Pete and all that, right? As Turf calls him now, Peter. But if it's gonna be Blue Kelly and we confident in that, who's it gonna be here? Right? Who's it gonna be here, bro? Is it gonna be Caleb Rogers or is it gonna be Alex Kappa? What's the deal with this, bro? Like tonight, I think we all know the answer of who we want to see tonight. I don't think it should be any arguments, nothing like that. Tonight, it needs to be Caleb Rogers. It needs to be Caleb Rogers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. I don't want to see Alex Kappa trot his ass out there, bro. I don't. For what? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen that already, bro. We haven't seen Caleb Rogers at all this year. And we talked about it with Darian Porter. We apply the same logic here. What an opportunity. What an opportunity, bro, to fuck around and see if we got something. You know what I mean? Sink or swim, dog. And what best way to sink or swim and for your first NFL action to be against fucking Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark? I love it. I love it because we're going to find out very quick, right? We're going to find out very quick if there's some shit to deal with, right? Even because you can expect a couple times, bro, tonight if he starts against Quinnen, he gonna get worked a couple times, right? You can expect that. It's going to happen. But my thing is, do we see something to work with, right? Is there something to work with there? That's all we need to see. What if we see a couple ones where he got some good hand placement? He really bouncing him out the club, right? You know what I mean? A couple times he really moves him out the way in run blocking, and we really got some holes to run through behind, right? Then, you can say, okay, let's continue on with this. We got 7 more games, 7 more weeks, man. Let's let him grow in these 7 weeks. So by next year, when we are beginning to come back next year, we got something, right? That's been the whole logic with all of these young guys the whole entire time. Why us as fans have to say this continuously? Us as fans got to say this continuously, but the coaching staff continues to do the opposite. Boggles my mind. But let me get to some of this, man. My boy Dre said, Genty's a rhythm runner. Yep. Matthew, Genty is that guy. I'm not mad at us picking Genty. It's just more of fact the situation. Because I was been saying, bro, everybody knows we ain't got the offensive line to do that. We've already said this multiple times. So we are now, and it just sucks that he's gonna have to go through maybe a year or two of this bullshit. You know what I mean? And a year or two of him killing his body and going through a rigorous workload just for meaningless yards. But, hopefully we can get it together soon. It don't take long. It don't take long to fix an O-line, bro. It could take an off-season. One off-season can fix your O-line. So let's hope. My guy, Jay, man, what's going on, big dog? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. I know you're going to have a post-game later, man. I'll tap in later on with you, man. Send you a like, comment your way, man, of course. Dre says we need Caleb Rogers to come out and be aggressive like JPJ. And the thing is, bro, like, bro said something the other day that made me excited. And it's the thing, when we drafted him, I liked him from the jump. I've liked Caleb Rogers from the jump since we've drafted him. There's been certain articles I've read about him. There's been certain things I've seen about him at Texas Tech that makes me think that we have a dog there, right? And when he said something, when he said something the other day in one of his little media scrums, right? That told me everything I needed to know. I ain't gonna cap to you. It told me everything I needed to know because the way he was talking to the media was one of the ways he was talking before draft. Before I even, we drafted him and I saw him pre-draft interview process and all the extra talking the very same way. So let me see if I can find this, man, for everybody that has not seen this Caleb Rogers video or this Caleb Rogers audio. Hold on, let me see. Hopefully I can find it. I know it's somewhere here. Don't do this to me now. Hold on. But while we're doing that, the confidence level in Caleb Ryan. What's the confidence level, bro? Do you think he plays? You can trap him. Very strong. I don't know. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But I think we're about to see Alex Cappa tonight, and it's gonna piss me off because we don't need to see him, especially against no goddamn Quinnen Williams. Man, oh man, bro. We see this man against Quinnen Williams tonight. It might be man on primetime television too. Fuck, man. That's all embarrassing. That's all bad, bro. Just all bad. But let's share the screen real quick. Oh, I'm lagging. I'm glad you told me that before I shared my screen. Let's wait. There we go. Y'all know how it be, man. Sometimes you got too many things, too many tabs open on your computer. Sometimes you got to close some shit out. I think we should be all right. Let me know if I'm lagging still. Let me know if I'm good. But this should have been fixed this past off season. You're right, Jeff. Because if you're going to take a running back 6 overall, you should have been fixed your offensive line, right? You would think, but we don't do the smart things. We don't do the smart things. How about this? Throw the ball to Jack Besh. You know what? Appreciate you, Edgar. Appreciate it. But you know what, Dre, bro? At this point, bro, I'm so tired of having this conversation with people. Because nobody's ever going to change their mind unless Jack Besh starts, getting on the field, getting some passes, getting some catches. But it's like, dog, we went over it multiple times on this show, right? Multiple shows. We've showed film. We've showed clips. He's open. Jack Besh is open a lot of the times, dog. I'm not going to a lot of the times he is open. He just does not get the football. Say what you want. Either doesn't get the football or he does not get enough snaps. That's where I'm at, bro. I haven't had no arguments no more because I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. We burning the candle at both ends right now, bro. He's not getting enough production within the game. Geno don't look his way. And then, if it's not that, he's just not playing. He's not fucking playing. We getting Dante Thornton out there more. It is what it is. And again, I'm not going to sit here because Thornton is one of those where I hope he grows as well. But it's like we've seen a lot of him. And if we're sacrificing Besh snaps for Thornton snaps, then it's like at that point, I've seen a lot of Thornton already, right? There's no malice. It's just like I've seen a lot of Thornton already. Then I would like to see the other rookie, which we drafted in a higher fucking round. Like, you know what I mean? There's like, again, it's never about no personal shit. Nothing's ever personal. It's just always, I've been a fan of a shitty team for 20 plus fucking years, and I'm tired of shit being mediocre and the same. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? So if players see me speak in a certain light, if players' family see me speak in a certain light, however it may be, understand it's never no malicious intent. Ever. Right? I would much rather come out here to speak about your family or speak about you as the great player I know and I hope you can be. But again, I've watched a shitty team and organization for 20 plus years. I cannot come out here and just say everything's good and dandy. I cannot do that. Cannot happen. Right? How many times, how would you feel? Right? You sitting here watching the same bullshit dribble back and forth, right? And you can't tell me you're gonna feel good about it. No, fuck no. We want results. I want production. It's just what I want. You know what I mean? So, what do you mean? What do you mean? Where are they? Hold on. Y'all give me a second. But when it comes to that, that's just all it is, bro. But either way, I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. It's been one hell of a show. We're continuing on. Hold on, because I think I might have to help somebody. That's why. Man, anybody ever have dogs, man? Certain times, bro. The dogs be getting on my goddamn nerves. I think we good though. But either way, I think tonight we need to have some more offensive production. Now let's talk about Geno real quick before we do end up getting out of here. What's Geno's game gonna be today? Right? Because if the D line is wrecking shop, right? If the D line is wrecking shop tonight, it's gonna be a long fucking day. Because we're not gonna be able to run the ball. We're not gonna be able to do certain things, right? That's just what's gonna have to happen. Now, if we're able to run the ball tonight, right, against this defense, and really Dallas's defense is not all that great. It's really not. And especially against the run, we've seen they've been Swiss cheese. But if we're able to do that tonight, we'll have a chance, right? I don't see anybody that can really cover Bowers, right? We talked about now. Chip Kelly brought up last week how he didn't get him involved, and I'm glad he took ownership. Look, he took ownership. Is what it is, right? And let's be honest, that's the first time since Brock Bowers has played and has been in, right? That Chip has not gotten him the football. In every other game that Bowers has been healthy and playing, and again healthy and can get the football, he's gotten him the football, right? So I think that some of it there, he'll turn it around. I think he'll get him the football today. There's nobody that can cover him. I don't see it. I don't see nobody on Dallas's defense that can mess with Brock. Nobody on the linebackers, nobody on the safeties, right? It's just not happening. So now, I just like Edgar said, it's going to be a lot today. Now, this is my thing though. We got to have some winning on the outside though. We can't just have Bowers be the guy and that's it. This is why I've continuously said, bro, even with Jacoby here, it was still that problem, still the issue, right? The explosion on the outside, we don't have it. We don't have the explosive athlete outside of Bowers, right? Bowers is an explosive athlete in himself, but at the end of the day, the core, he's a tight end, right? At the core, he's a tight end, which means more times than not, bro, he can do the deep shit. That's what makes him special. But more times than not, bro, he's doing his dirty work intermediate, short, right? Yards after catch, getting that yak. That's where his damage in the dirty work comes. Now, even when Jacoby was here, been saying it, bro. We need some athletic freak or something on the outside to now give that deep threat illusion or give that, okay, yeah, they got somebody on the outside that can win over there too. You know what I mean? So not only are we winning intermediate, we winning all these deep routes too, right? We're doing all this extra shit that they got to worry about that. The safety has to worry about, say if we had, I'm just going to throw a fucking receiver out there. But say if we had a Malik Neighbors, right? Say if we had a Malik Neighbors with fucking Brock Bowers, you understand? Like the safety you have to play this deep. You have to, or Neighbors will kill you, right? But then even so, Buddy, Bowers underneath is just going to do his dirty work continuously 24/7, right? So this is where as an offense, we need to get to, and you can see like the lack of talent there that's not showing up right now. And even so right now, Trey, I like Trey, but Trey isn't that explosive athlete that we're requiring right now, right? Not the explosive that we're requiring. I'm talking about big body. We need a big body right now. Trey's doing his work, though. You know what I mean? Trey's doing his work. But even so, I still think there are some limitations to Trey, right? There's some limitations a little bit there where with another big body receiver can unlock even Trey's game, right? Now, some of you can be saying, we have one. It's Dante Thornton. No, it's not. He's only 6'5", that's it. 6'5", that's it. There's no big aspect to Dante Thornton's game. Right? There's no big aspect, bro. When we're talking about jump ball, right, which we need a jump ball guy down the field right now, and then we severely lack that. He can't do that, right? So we understand he's not a good deep ball or jump ball receiver. And even after that, the catch that he had last week to really stretch the field, he's shaky in his hands, right? So right now, you're shaky with your hands. You're not out jumping people for the football. We're lacking severely on all ends. Even when Besh plays, Besh's strength is more short, intermediate yak catches, right? That's the same thing with Trey Tucker. Strength, short, intermediate yak catches. So we're missing that whole deep element, bro. We missed the whole deep element. We don't have it. It's not there. And that we have to find tonight. We got to find it. Got to find it. You know what? Here go a Cowboy person in here. But again, I don't really care about the Cowboys. There ain't no thing to me. But let's go Cowboys. Respect to the Raiders because I have a family that are fans of the Raiders, but all y'all ain't effing with them boys. Look here, man. My mother-in-law is a Cowboys fan. I already got the call this morning. But yeah, my mother-in-law is a Cowboys fan, and we already going at it. So it's like that. I have respect for Cowboys. I don't look at the Cowboys in a weird way because I know some people be talking about shit about Jerry Jones and all the extra. I don't fall into that. Jerry Jones is a good talent evaluator and shit to me. There are certain things he does that's annoying, bro. But hey, when it comes to making them swings, getting y'all some talent, he gonna do that. Shit, I wish Mark did that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish Mark understood the game a little bit more so he can do the things that he's doing. Let's keep it real as Raider fans, right? We can talk shit about Jerry and the Cowboys and all that, but shit. Some of them moves and even some of the draft picks that they do. Oh, I killed half, right? They draft exponentially better than we do. Exponentially better. You fuck about none of that. When you look at their offensive line, right? And who damn near most of the offensive line they drafted. They acquired through the draft. You feel what I'm saying? Most of the team that's playing right now, they be acquired through the draft. And the thing about Jerry, bro, when he gonna make a swing, he gonna make a trade. He gonna pause, but he gonna let them nuts hang. It is what it is. We be too timid, bro. We don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? We don't do shit like that. We scared. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is about our organization, what we need to do, you know what I mean, to get ourselves over the hump. But it ain't this timid shit we've been doing. I will say that. Let's go with some of this, man. Look, Henry Ruggs is still locked up. That's who you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Henry Ruggs and Brock Bowers? So shameful, bro. So shameful. The talent we lose, you know what I mean? It's like, damn. And then the small amount of games that we even had Brock Bowers and fucking Devontae Adams. Look what that was. You know what I mean? In the small amounts of games that was, look what that looked like. Oh, the potency, right? Look, I could just bet that fucking Baltimore game from like a year ago is my playoff game at this point. You know, the potency of that offense. Devontae going off. Bowers going off. Now it's nothing. You know, we don't have shit. So there's that. Boys are cool. We got our own issues before we start hating. 100%. I hate every team that ain't the Raiders how I'm wired. No, I feel that. Now, as far as like me rooting for them, I'm not doing that. But you know, we're talking about like just pure like, I can't stand them. I reserve that like strictly for the Chargers. Oh, which felt good yesterday. See them get their ass whooped like that. Beautiful. But you know, Chiefs, Broncos, all these other, you know, you reserve that for them for sure. But now looking at it, man, we got some other questions before we do get on out of here. Because remember, we have another show at 4:00. So your boy, I'm about to go ahead and get me something to eat, refresh myself. I think I'm lagging. Yeah, I'm about to get me something to eat, refresh myself, and we back to it at 4:00, man, for the post game. And of course, we got something for the pregame. Sorry, for the pregame. We back at it at 4:00 for the pregame. Post game, might see me there too. Make sure, man. Hey, I'm trying to build this thing up, man. I done made a little conscious effort for myself, man. Even though the Raiders ain't doing good, we still gotta do our thing. Oh, what up, that? So just getting ready to do our thing. So last thing we're gonna continue to talk about right here. Hold on. Now tonight, it's prime time, right? It's prime time. You know how Mark Davis gets down in prime time, right? You know how our team gets down in prime time. Everybody say what's up to Papa Rundown, man, in the background.
What up?
Yes, sir.
Game night. You already know.
Yep. So I'm over here saying this is the last question I have. You know how our team gets down in prime time. You know how Mark Davis gets down in prime time, right? Yep. Already been a couple rumblings that Pete's job ain't as secure as people thought, right? There was like an article a couple weeks ago that was like, if they keep losing like this, you know what I mean? If we get embarrassed tonight, there's a good chance. You know what I mean?
With that Cowboy D-line and new dudes on that D-line.
And that offense, right? If we turn the ball over, if we get embarrassed tonight, what's y'all level y'all think Pete might his job secured? You know, what's up with that? I don't think he get fired tonight, but it's like, you know, trending in the possibility of him getting fired type.
I say based on the personnel, I mean, we didn't have a bad game in Denver. We
No.
really didn't.
No.
You know what I mean? Like the team competed, and that's what you want Pete to do is get their boys to compete. And they came out there and competed. So personnel-wise, we down right now. Offensive line is in shambles. We all know that. We got rookies out here trying to play wide receiver. So it's gonna be tough. But I do expect for that defense to come out there and give us a similar effort than they gave when we played against Denver. So I do expect that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we should be competitive in this game. I don't know if we're gonna win it, but I feel like our defense needs to show up the same way that they showed up against Denver. That'll be a big tell for me. So.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, and I'm like, because we can't turn the ball over either. If we turn the ball over today, we're screwed. We're cooked.
Yeah.
We're cooked because they have too good of an offense, especially if they try to throw out Blue Kelly again. You know what I mean, against CeeDee Lamb and all that. Like, it's a wrap. So for me, we're gonna have to do that. I don't know tonight. Like if they get 40 ball, right? You know what I mean? Like, and they get him, like, say it's like a Chiefs game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it could happen if you're turning the ball over like that. Like they're gonna score on y'all.
So the seat will definitely get warmer. I mean, you know, if we go out there and get waxed like that
in prime time,
the seat will definitely be hot. You know what I mean? So I can't sit there and say that it wouldn't, but I'm just not right now. I'm just not in favor of continuously firing coaches. I mean, at some point there's got to be a philosophy, unless Spytek and Brady have some offensive kind of coach in mind.
That's what I would think they would do. I would think they already got this young guy that they like, all right, we kind of got some connections to already that we've talked to a little bit. Then let's just bring him in and let him do his thing for a couple of years. But then it's like with Pete, I just don't see his plan. I don't see no plan of his coming into fruition.
Well,
zero.
You know, one of the things that I've been talking about is that they don't have an identity. I don't see no identity with this team whatsoever. Yep. Now, last weekend, defensively, I kind of saw what they could be when they're coached properly. You know what I mean? And you can tell they had a good week of practice and preparation just by the way they showed up. So if that's going to be our identity on defense, I'm cool with that. I think that's what they're striving towards. But offensively, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
But that's what scares me. That's what scares me about keeping Pete, because I think he has a plan kind of defensively. Yeah. I don't think he got no plan offensively.
No.
And because his plan kind of consists of, to me, keeping Geno still next year and rolling with that and doing all that. When we know, like, come on, dog, like you got to at least draft something or get something.
Well, I think they got it. Well, you've been hearing, I know y'all been hearing the rumors about CJ Carr. You know, about Brady liking CJ Carr.
But that's another
another year.
We'd have to be trash another year.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not trying to do all that.
I never subscribe to that kind of stuff. Like, why are we even talking about something that's going on in the 27th draft? That makes no sense.
Look how this class was supposed to be. Like,
it makes no sense. I mean, there's some guys out there that you might want to take a flyer on. You know what I mean? And then you start looking at other teams that's not going to need quarterback, but they still got shitty records.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a possibility, if there's somebody we want, this might be the most realistic probability for us to get somebody if we like it.
Exactly. Because if we're on the top 3 train and somebody's there, it's like, I think we might have to do that.
You know, you're looking at a Mendoza, maybe, I don't know, Simpson didn't have that great of a game against
it wasn't a great game, but I still like him.
But I still like him. I don't judge a guy for one.
The Mayava, I heard he's coming out. That's another I take late round. I'll take him.
And let him sit.
Yep. If that's your plan, to say a dude like Mayava, you let him sit behind Geno for a year, sure, we can do that. If Dante Moore come out, yes, we do something like that. But
definitely what I want to happen. I don't mind Geno coming back as long as we got somebody, in the bullpen. That's what I want, because I want
it has to be somebody
quarterback and not have to play him right away.
Yeah, it has to be somebody.
Like, you see a lot of these kids,
or at least come in halfway through the year. Geno's bad or something like that.
You see some of these kids out here now, dude, and it's like they getting broken already.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want to draft a dude and let him sit down a year, man.
But see, it's always a weird thing with quarterbacks, because it's always weird. You saw Drake May first year, and now look at him now. Like, but he played all last year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He did.
No, he didn't. No, he came in halfway through the year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He came in halfway through the year. Yeah, so he came in halfway through the year. I mean, Jaden played a little bit. Penix came in halfway through the year, but he's struggling right now. So it's like,
JJ McCarthy struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I look at it like this, man. If Geno can just start writing his shit, and I think a lot of that has to do with Chip Kelly too, dog. Call it more of a consistent game plan. Like, I don't like how we run the football, and all of a sudden we just stop, like we can't run no more.
Well, I showed it earlier, right? I just looked at it right here. We were looking at it. The thing is, when you look at our rankings, we are 29th in the league in rush offense. 29th. We're averaging 89 yards per game, and then when you average that out, that's like 3 yards per carry. Right. That's so like realistically, when you're looking at that and you game planning, you like, well, we're not running the ball all that well. You know what I mean? Like we want to, but we can't run the ball. We literally cannot.
I feel like I think we leave a lot on the table.
I do think that, but then
I think some of the play calling is very predictable in the run game. You know what I mean? Like every time we on the third and short, there's always you running right into the middle of the line of scrimmage between the A and B gap. And the few rare times that we did run outside to get a first down, we actually got them.
I think, I think certain times we're so vanilla because we can't.
Situational play calling has been terrible.
I don't think we can expand. I don't think we can expand our play calling. Like, because I think we can't even do basic shit right. Like our offensive line can't even do basic protection. You know what I mean? So it's like
it's a whole myriad of shit that we're dealing with when it comes to the offense that allows you not to have any consistency at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, dude, it's just, we stuck with what we
now,
stuck with, dog. I mean, you're hoping that some of these young guys, some of these young receivers and everybody starts kind of getting a second win in the second half of the season, understanding what it takes, and they can make a few plays to help us out.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of drops, a lot of stall outs because the rookies aren't executing,
100%.
Stupid penalties and shit like that. Like there are a lot of yards that's been left on the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's about consistency, but we got a young ass team. You know what I'm saying? And then Gino don't trust a lot of the. It's hard for a quarterback to really be comfortable when he ain't comfortable with the way the line of scrimmage is blocking.
Now I'll say, like, as far as the
not firing, you know what I mean?
The pass blocking, I think some of that has been more. Gino, you got because now we understand it is a young team, bro. Like you got to take ownership of what it is. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just be out here blaming people, running around. You understand you got to get the ball out your hands. You got to get this, like, bro. So you're doing that yourself, I think, to him. But in the run game, it's I don't understand what it is. I really don't, because like we lack physicality.
But
we lack physicality.
But when you do get him running and he's getting downhill,
he gets downhill.
I just don't think that they're mixing it up well. I think we should be trying to get him outside more on the perimeter.
Now, I will say this.
Haven't got him on the perimeter
how much better do you think? I just want to say it. How much? Well, they're probably playing way much better. But how much better do you think the Patriots' offensive line is than ours?
I wouldn't say it's that much better.
See,
I wouldn't say it's that much. I mean,
so tonight, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Tonight, I don't think they're that much better. So
Stone Forsythe didn't play.
That's what I'm saying. So tonight, bro, like I want to see Genty make some plays tonight. I'm sorry. I just watched your boy walk up in there in this 2 straight games in New England and make fucking plays.
I mean,
I want to see him make plays.
You have the Quentin Williams factor. Like, I would like to attack the edges. Like, I don't feel like we've attacked the edges enough.
No.
But you know what? You know what that is a byproduct of as well? We got young guys on the outside.
Yeah, that is true.
Not the greatest blocker.
But I'll be honest too. As far as the short yardage, I've said this multiple times. I don't know. I personally don't think Genty's the greatest short yardage runner. I don't. I think he's a good runner overall, but short, like, think about how many short yardage runs he's had.
He hasn't really had to have a lot.
And he's had one-on-one, but he's had one-on-one times. You know what I'm saying? He's had one-on-one multiple times with linebackers this year.
Yeah.
Where he's just not converting them. That's some of the thing where I was like, okay, well, that's going to take a year. Because right now,
I think some of that
that's going to take a year, bro, because he's 205 right now.
Some of that's the discombobulation of the offensive line as well. Like, how many times we've seen multiple times where you go back and watch the replays, and you're like, dude, this motherfucker missed his block.
But I think for him too, it's going to take him another year to gain strength. You know what I mean? Because right now we sitting at 5'9", 205. You know what I mean? Like, like you got to get a little stronger to mess with these linebackers up in here consistently to get that yard.
I agree. Gino is playing scared out there.
He is. No, he is. He is.
But at the same time, dude, this is what you get paid for, man. Like, and he has put a few balls on the money. The motherfucker dropped. Which is kind of
Thornton last week.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
which look, I said it. It's not like I don't want Thornton, but it's like, bro, I've seen Thornton play all the time. So if we're sacrificing best playing time for Thornton, Like, let's switch that out. Switch that out already. Because we've seen it multiple times.
Best needs to get open as well. Like, I don't think
he's been open. He's been open. I be watching the film, like we showed it on here. He's been open. Your boys just don't throw him the ball. I don't know what it is. He don't throw him the ball. He throws Thornton the ball a lot.
Been doing a lot of predetermining where he's gonna throw.
That's what I'm saying. He throws Thornton the ball a lot. I don't understand.
Kills me. He predetermines where he wants to throw the ball.
Well, and I know you're right because Tyler Lockett had the most targets out of anybody in the game last week.
Tyler Lockett didn't play bad either.
Didn't play bad.
He didn't play bad. I think that's going to help us going forward. I think that's going to help us going to have Jacoby Myers, honestly. I think because you saw the familiarity.
We're gonna need to draft him though.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. But you did see the familiarity that he has with Tyler Lockett. You know what I mean? So
that was evident.
That's only going to help, especially when you know that can open up Brock, it can open up Mayer. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see a little bit more diversity in the offense, man. Like, can we figure out how to run a couple of screenplays? Can we do some things?
Shout out my guy, man.
You know, so
yeah, definitely. I definitely want to see. I mean, we throwing some screens. You know, there was one last week. I was so mad because Chip tried to do a screen and no running backs got out. I mean, no linemen got out there at all. Like, it was just like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? And that's probably why you look here. It's like, what am I supposed to call?
Now, are we starting Caleb Watson tonight?
I hope.
Nobody knows yet, huh?
Nah. Well, if Blue Kelly trots out there for the defense first, that's gonna let me know Kappa's probably getting in there.
Well, you can't just put Blue Kelly on the bench after he had 2 picks.
Dad, come on now, you watching.
I did, but
them picks was quacks.
Realistic,
and your boy played well.
But that doesn't send the right kind of message. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta.
Them was quacks, Dad.
But you gotta remember these are talking about the locker room as well. So he's gonna get his chance.
Exactly. I would see. This is what I would do. Personally, this is what I would do. I would put Porter out there because I think that him and Pickens kind of match up pretty well. I think we're gonna see Porter. Even just for the matchup in general, I just think Porter's a better matchup for Pickens. Now he's a rookie, but at the same time, you're gonna sink or swim. Same thing with what you saying though. They're gonna use that logic for Caleb Rogers. They're gonna use that logic. They're gonna be like, well, you know, it's his first time. You know, he's going against Quinnen Williams. And we're just going to put Kappa out there because it's his first time. That's what they're going to say. I guarantee you that's probably their logic.
It just depends on where they think he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they feel like he's ready to go in there and get, kind of get baptized a little bit, then you got to get your feet wet. You might as well go in and do it,
Now, I don't want to see him against no peons. Like, I want to see him against, like, he's got to go against this type of competition.
Next week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you better.
Well, that's for DJ Glaze and them. That's for Forsyth and them. This week is for your boy. That's for Roger to see if we got something. You know what I mean? Like, Kenny Clark ain't no scrub either.
No, but
he real.
I'll tell you this too. It'll tell you what kind of week of practice that he's had.
True.
It'll tell you how he's looked in practice. If he comes out and he's starting, then okay, then he might have banged out in practice. So, we're gonna figure that out.
Now I want to play this real quick before we do get out of here. This is the last thing I do want to, because this is why I've liked him since the draft. This is why I think I wanted him to play. But this is Caleb Rogers on playing this week if he's going to be made the starter.
I mean, he's a great player, a lot of physicality. He's a much diverse player than the other guys that they've got on that defensive line, but that is a very diverse defensive line. They play with a lot of 5 down, play with a lot of different bodies. So, I mean, couldn't think of a better opportunity to get me better week 1 as a starter than to go against someone like Quinnen Williams. So, I mean, he's a great.
He was talking like that in draft process.
He already knows he's starting.
I hope so. He was talking like that in draft process. This is why I'm like, we need more dogs on the line, man. Like we lost JPJ. We already lose something there. You know what I mean? So
they say he's got kind of little mean streak.
That's what I like. We need more.
What we need overall, honestly, what we need is competitors. We need guys that are really going to compete out there. You know what I mean? Sometimes it seems like some of these dudes aren't really competing.
Yep.
They're just trying to hold on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You kind of look at Parham. It don't look like Parham is competing. Most of the time, it looks like he's just trying not to get fucking ran over.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like you need a guy that wants.
Is he playing?
I think he is.
Okay. I heard he was hurt. I thought he was hurt.
Last I heard, they said he practiced. He's been practicing.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. Then yeah, we only got to worry about the right guard position pretty much and see what that looks like. Yeah, I don't want to see Kappa. I really don't.
If you don't see Kappa or Rogers, it might be Putnam. They've been talking about him.
See, this is what annoys me about Pete. Where do these dudes come from? Where they come from?
If you think about it, that's a whole Raider roster.
But it's like, no, we weren't talking about no Putnam was a center. We weren't talking about Putnam at all. And now you just drafted Buddy, and he's gonna play over Buddy you just drafted.
Listen, you know what I've been saying for the last few weeks. You already know what I've been saying. I've been saying, like, look here, man. We're all tired of the 5th round pick, the 4th round, try hard. I think I
thank
can
you.
Type player.
God damn.
Trying to sell him to us, like, dude. Look at even the worst teams in the NFL. But teams that are perennially drafted in the top 10. Here's the thing. They're getting the right pick. They're stockpiling talent. It might be the wrong culture, but there's talent there. Look how long Jacksonville's been shitty, and they finally found a coach to go with all the talent that they stockpiled.
Yep.
Right? Even if you look at a team like Cleveland, dude, Cleveland has talent everywhere. Like, you're at a disadvantage when you don't even have the talent because you're constantly whiffing in the draft. And that's where Spytech and them have to start turning this shit around because we're whiffing in the draft and we're not stockpiling talent. And when we do get talent, it ends up leaving.
That's the next thing where it's like, can we see Rod? Bro, it's a 3rd round pick. Can we see him? Shit. Yeah. Everybody else plays their 3rd, 2nd, 4th round picks. I look all around the league. I see 6th round picks making plays.
I believe he'll be starting today.
Like, dog, like, why do we have to? Why training wheels? It's week 11. It's
the best time of the year.
Get about this.
Let these boys get their feet wet.
Thank you.
What we working with.
It's time, man. So, man, we're going to get ready to end it on out. But you know how we end it out, man. You know, we do it like this. About to get out of here, man. End this thing out. It's the rundown, man. Like we said before, just round it on out. Offense. Offense can't turn the ball over today. Personally, I think they cannot turn the ball over. We have to play a clean game. Geno has to play clean, decisive. Because if we can keep our offense on the field, score some points, that's already good news for us, right? It's already good news because that's our weakest link right now as a team, trying to score these points, not turn the ball over, play mistake free. Also, we got to stay ahead of the sticks on offense.
Well, you know what?
Got to stay ahead of the sticks.
Before we get out of here, I say this too. I think this is the big game for Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
I think you ride Brock Bowers, especially after last week where he barely got any action.
Oh, he's gonna get a lot this week because there's nobody messing with him.
Feed Bowers until they can't take it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the keys to this game. Getting Brock involved in this game early and often.
Brock could be involved. I think that'd be good. We got to stay ahead of the sticks. If we can run the ball, that'd be great. Can't be in no 2nd and 13, 3rd and 8s and all that. We're not good at that.
And
so
also, guess what? We need to put Dak on his back.
Yep.
We need to put Dak on his back.
That's the next thing. There needs to be pressure. They got to be one-dimensional today because Dak dropping back 40 times will result in him throwing a pick at least once. He'll throw a pick at least once.
We got to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. He don't run like that.
No.
So, you got to make Dak uncomfortable and get that heat on him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what, what I mean? Even though Dak will cut you up, he'll make a mistake if he's dropping back 40 times, though. He will throw you one. So I hope, we can get to him, stop the run. If Javonte Williams is having a game against us today, it's going to be a long goddamn day. We cannot allow them to be able to start throwing in play action and doing all these things on us, dog, with that weaponry. So we're going to need to be sticky today. I think we need to blitz, and I think we need to play, as crazy as it may sound, you need to get up in their face, man, and play some man coverage today. Something.
Yeah, it's going to be, Dak is pretty good against the blitz. So you got to be careful with Dak on the blitz. What you need to do is that you need to figure out a way to generate that pressure with front four. And maybe you got a guy like Jamal Adams that you can kind of send every once in a while, send a Devin White every once in a while, but that can it hurts you on the blitz. And
we can't just sit back in zone either because they got the dudes. Like
we're gonna have to get a little. Max gonna have to play a hell of a game too, which I feel like Max gonna show up today.
Yeah, because if we sit back in zone and just allow them space and cushion, they're gonna kill us. Them receivers are going to kill us. Yeah. So we can't do that. I think you got to disrupt timing today. You got to disrupt timing. And you got to get in their face and do all that. But appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. We'll do a little pregame show before, definitely a postgame show after. But make sure you guys continue to tap in with that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're close to 3K. And you know what I always say here, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Tap in with y'all later. Peace.